I think it already is, isn't it? Yeah, it needs to be started. The blue one? I spilled water when I was doing my eggs last night, so it's supposed to go in the laundry.
Well, you don't, you put it outside to dry and then you launder it because if you put this up there and it's sitting, it's just going to become musty.
Yeah.
Always put like,
All right. Okay, boys and girls. It is Friday, March 6th. Um, Taking a look here at the bias, daily bias for today. We're clearly in a bearish downtrend on the 4 hour and the 1 hour. Even on the 15 minute, we're bearish right now. However, this move, as dramatic as it's been, which looks like it was during news time, we had a couple of just going here. We had a few red folder high impact news items that have been, my guess, affecting this particular drop here. We see it settling out a little bit. We got about 5 minutes, a little under about 4 minutes to market open. So, conventional wisdom is we may see some continuation on this. So it's difficult to say. There could be. I'm trying to decide where the market manipulation is going to go first, the liquidity manipulation. Right now, based on this downtrend, it could be a sweep to get liquidity down here at Asia lows and at 3 days ago at New York lows with a pushback up uh, by chance. So I guess we'll have to see what that looks like. The other possibility is that we push up into this imbalance right here, respect the balance, and then swing back down and continue lower. Both theories could be equally relevant. It just depends on where price action takes us in a few minutes. So we're just going to remain patient and see what happens. Right now, I'm going to stay on the 15 minute to see if we actually break break in here. Let's see. I mean, everything. Let me move to the 5 minute. Yeah, we got a couple fair value gaps here that we can look at in the 5 minute as well. I think the main thing is just to remain cautious on what price action is doing. Asia was totally sideways, and London was just a manipulation down, took a sweep, came back up, but never made new highs, and then just began dumping from there. This is right here, 8:30 this morning. This is only about an hour ago. So, this right here is probably where the high impact news began affecting things. And then you can see the market responding to that. And now it's kind of settling out, waiting for market open, which we're going to see in 2 minutes. So, based on the way I'm seeing things right now, probably a push into this imbalance and then a move downward. Um, I'm not seeing a whole lot in the way of fair value gaps here, other than we have one here on ES and we have one here on NASDAQ. So I think that's my assessment for now. We'll see how high it pushes. Um, if we do get bullish at all, we're definitely going to have a close above some of those highs. It looks like we might, but I'm really looking more to what's going to happen with that fair value gap. So we're going to give it a little time. And if we see that fair value gap being tested, I'll move down to the 1 minute and see if we can get an entry. But for right now, I'm just going to sit tight and see what we have. I mean, we could get a push to balance out that imbalance. Now that news is out and we've kind of hit our tolerance for that. Couple different theories at play. We just got to see what confluences give us confirmations on our assumptions. Got plenty of targets in both directions. So Friday is usually a little slower trading day too, but with the high impact news, we might see some activity. So got about 20 seconds to market open, and we'll see where we're at. Oh, while we're at it, I should probably switch my account. There we go. Okay. All right. We now have market open. I'm going to keep an eye on those fair value gaps. Looks like we pushed in and so far respecting it. We did have a break of structure to the upside right here on this 5-minute candle. So I am going to wait to see if we get a break. Okay, we went into that fair value gap. If we close a candle down below this low right here, it might be a good place for an entry. If we inverse this value gap, then Looks like we're getting there. Looks like we're getting a slightly bearish SMT forming. We'll see what happens in this candle here. Okay, it looks like we're pushing past. No, respecting the gap. Okay, I think NASDAQ is going to be the one I'm going to take. We got a good target we can make there. So if this does, I'm going to go down to the 1 minute. Looks like we're respecting that gap. I'm going to look for a break of structure. Let's see. We still got a little bit of time, so we'll see. Okay. All right, I'm going to take a short right here. I think our goal is going to be right here. Yeah, I think we're respecting that gap. This one's jumping down, so just got to stay patient. Okay. I don't think I made as much on that because I think it came back. Oh, not bad. 900 on that one. Let's see what S&P's got for me here. Okay, we're forming a value gap here. Okay, so we got a value gap on the 1 minute. We're going to sit tight. I'm going to go back to the 5 minute. Okay, we don't fully have a break of structure on the 5 minute. But we did respect that gap. So if we get a break of structure here on the 5 minute, then I'll jump back in. We did get a, let me see, do we have a break of structure here? Yeah, we have a full break of structure here on the, or at least we will. It would seem on S&P. I don't know, there's just something about one dipping below and one just kind of hanging out there. All right, I'm going to sit tight. I think there's another opportunity for a trade here, but just don't quite have it yet. There's just not a lot showing what's going on. It looks like we're going to have a good break of structure on the S&P here in about a minute, maybe. Wow, it's an interesting wick candle. This is now looking rather bullish, to tell you the truth. Um, if we get a break of structure, or I'm sorry, a inverse value gap on the 5 minute here on NASDAQ, I'm going to look for another 1 minute entry. Yeah, it's really pushing. I know this price action is telling me something. Okay, so official break of structure, excuse me, on the S&P. Um, but it looks like we're starting to get a. Let me go back to the 15 minute because there's something here that's just. I'm gonna chill here because we don't have a break of structure on either of these to the upside. We're still in a downtrend, technically, with the 15 minute. This is still a downtrend. And everything is still showing downtrend, but it's just hanging out. We have one hanging above London lows. We have one hanging out below London lows. Yeah, still respecting that gap. S&P, we're not even close. We're basically getting two different things right now. Something that looks a little bit like an SMT divergence, but if we don't inverse that gap, then there's no sense in validating any of this. And as we're still technically in a downtrend, it could just be that S&P is leading and Nasdaq is trying to hold out, but will weaken. Okay, looks like we're starting to get some strength. We'll see if this gap inverses, and if so, we might be looking at a bullish play here. All right, good deal. We have another value gap to get through as well. It's playing with it. Well, sitting tight. We got one above London lows, one below London lows. Still in a um, bearish trend. Yeah, it looks like that's where we're staying. I'm sitting put. There's no good entries just at the moment. It's looking bearish, but let's take a look here, see if we have an entry. We really don't. I think the S&P wants those New York lows from a few days ago. There could be some liquidity there. The rest of it's a little further down. Nasdaq's holding tight. They're just getting a lot of chop. We got this 1 minute gap here. If we break that 1 minute gap, S&P looks like it's heading toward that low. Looks like we're forming a okay, I think we're down to those New York lows now. We're pretty damn close. Barely touching on them. There we go. Okay. Just took out those lows. Not quite a break of structure there. But we are starting to form an SMT. Still, I don't think anything happens until we inverse this gap right here. Definitely still in bearish market structure. I think that might be the only trade I get today. I've only got a limited amount of time today to get my trades done, and I think I got about as good as I could get right now. Yeah, if this thing goes back up, it's going to take a little while. Testing that fair value gap again. Maybe this time there'll be enough strength to break it. Okay, that's looking pretty good. We got to wait for the candle to finish though. We still got 3.5 minutes, so there's still a move there if there needs to be. Okay, we're hovering above the value gap on the first. There's still a second one on the NASDAQ to deal with. Nothing on S&P, but there is a target of the two value gaps further up here, which could act as resistance as both of these make their way up. And as you can see, This value gap right here keeps getting tested and rejected, tested and rejected, tested and rejected. So this will be the fifth time. That's why you got to stay patient. You got to let the candle close in the timeline that you're working with. Got to actually let it close on the 5 minute outside of that gap. And then we still have another gap to play with. So even then, I'm just going to move down to the 1 minute and just see if there's an entry point there that shows we're going to be strong and punch through. Targets would be right here and right here. Let's see what this looks like on the 1 minute. It's probably choppy as hell. Yeah. Yeah, see, we're not even closing outside of that on the 1 minute. So this is probably going to dump on us now at this point. 3 failed attempts through this. I mean, for those of you that look at candle patterns, this could be a head and shoulders right here. 1, 2, 3. So, I mean, nothing's for certain on these, obviously. As soon as you think you know, you're proven wrong. But with only a minute left and, 5 solid attempts at getting through that value gap, it's a lot of long-wicked candles there on NASDAQ. Well, same thing on S&P, actually. I think there's a lot of Fed officials speaking today. It's not high impact news per se, but okay. So this candle's now closed out. We've now had 5 attempts at getting through that value gap that have failed. So this is a pretty good sign that we are continuing in that downtrend. I don't know. Let's go to the 1 minute and see if there's anything there that looks worthwhile. Yeah, we could look for a break of structure maybe right here. Try to take something heading south again. See what this looks like. Yeah, same thing. Break of structure here. Doesn't give us much room to work with, but okay. I really don't know if I want to take a chance on that. It's just so choppy. See, and this is already near a target, so unless it drops, like, closes out even below here. Look at this. It's not going to close below that. So we're just chopping like crazy. I'm going to give this probably another 30 minutes of action at most. Yeah, if I don't see something happening soon, then I think we might just call it for the day, walk away with a green day. I know it doesn't get me exactly where I need to be for my qualification on assessment, but can only play with what the market gives you. And right now, there's just nothing that makes me feel warm and fuzzy about risking any one capital right now. Yeah, it's just playing games. Still got this value gap on the 1 minute. That needs to be inversed. It's still playing around in there. I mean, sure, we might get a. Oh, see, I don't even know. Like, we're literally hanging out on this low right here. There we go. Now we're starting to see something. We're going to get a close there. Okay, now we're getting something with a little more certainty. We can see this dumping further. There we go. I'm wondering if I should take one right now. Nope, not gonna. S&P's got me spooked. It's hanging out on this New York low. And this is just fucking sideways action to this fair value gap. So probably good that I didn't take a short there. I would have been squashed. Looks like we're going to get a break of structure to the upside. Let's go back to the 5 minute. Starting to get some decisive action now. Okay, now we're pushing up. If we break both fair value gaps here, then this will be a good entry. Okay, I'm going to take a long here. This was probably a bad idea because I took my long too soon. But we'll have to see. We're breaking one fair value gap, testing the other. Just got to remain patient here. We don't really have a fair value gap on the other one that we're testing. They're both looking pretty good though. Kind of hanging out right where I entered at the top of that fair value gap. So, uh, this wasn't a great trade, but I'm in it. I mean, I like the overall direction that I chose because I think this imbalance is going to get made up. Just sitting through it is going to be harrowing. Hmm. Yeah, it's literally hanging out right at the top of that second value gap. Yeah, this was a pretty high risk. We're respecting that value gap, so I am a little nervous about it. I mean, I like the direction it's taking, but it's got to break that value gap to really be give me the confidence that we're bullish. Okay. So we inverse that value gap. So now we're probably looking at a push now at this point, maybe a little bit of pullback, but I think we're in good shape for a push here. Let me move down to the 1 minute, see if it's worth doubling down on this. Pushing down. I mean, we have some equilibrium now, so I think I'm actually going to get back into this again. It's probably a mistake, but we'll see. Okay, because we got a fair value gap going the other way now. We definitely have the break of structure. Go back to the 5 minute. And the goal is going to be right up here. That's the goal. I know I really shouldn't be doing this, but 53. Okay, I'm out. And you know why I'm out? Because I made my goal. Okay. Boys and girls, 1632 and 72 cents on the day. Account balance 53 121. And that means that we passed. See? Passed, passed, passed. So, this is good news. All right. So that's that, boys and girls. We are shutting her down for the day. This is good news. This is very, very good news. All right. Hopefully you all got a good hopefully you all got some good trades here. Yeah, it looks like it's popping back down into that value gap. Looks like I made the right choice of getting out when I did. This market's still all over the place. I still feel that, we're gonna get a good bump up here, but not in a hurry to do that right now because at this point I've got about a week before I can take a cash draw on this, so I just got to make sure I keep the account good. But the account's now qualified, so um, all right, that's good news. I'm on with my day. I've got a big show tonight. Got about a 2.5 hour drive getting there, so I will bid you all farewell for the week, and we will see you all again on Monday. All right, peace.